Okay, now we're going. I had a false start there. Never mind. Anyway, talking about weight loss. Remember, I'm Gary, the Winnipeg guy. So let me start off with really the most important part of it, which is to understand why you're fat in the first place and why it's difficult to lose that fat. If you approach it the wrong way, it can be impossible. And this is the current model of why you're fat. A lot of people believe this. I believed it myself at one time. They think that they simply ate too much. Yeah, just all that high fat, all those high calories just made me fat. That's the prevalent belief. You probably believe that yourself now. In fact, if you go to the National Institute of Health website, they'll talk about all that energy balance. And the implication is, of course, it's your fault that you're fat. You should have knocked off, that high calorie burgers that was making you fat. And so their recommendation that came out in the mid 70s was for everybody to eat low fat. That obviously fat was making you fat, so if you ate low fat, you wouldn't be eating so many calories and it would balance out. But the problem was everybody kept getting fatter than ever, even though they did what they said they ate low fat. But this is the thing. Nobody believed that. For hundreds of years prior to that, people believed potatoes and bread made you fat, especially refined carbohydrates, which we have now in abundance thanks to the no-fat craze. But their idea, and all the experts believe that a calorie is a calorie, doesn't matter where that calorie comes from. A calorie of pure Coke will have the same effect to making you fat as a calorie of bacon dripping. What I'm here to tell you is that's not the full story. In fact, that's a very, very misleading and dangerous way to think. Because this calorie over here, the sugar calorie, guess what? That calorie carries a metabolic punch of raising blood sugar and subsequently raising insulin. And insulin is the fat storage hormone. Insulin is what's deciding to store all that fat. Eating the calorie of the bacon drippings does not affect your blood sugar, does not have that metabolic response. So, to translate it into actions, what's the difference that this model makes? There's two important things. One is, if you continue to believe the standard calorie in, calorie out model, when you eat those refined carbohydrates and sugar, you will find it impossible to lower your calories and lose weight because you will be attacked by a mind-numbing, super overwhelming hormonal desire to eat. And you will absolutely, for sure, fail in your attempt. And even if with some Herculean effort you can keep the low calories for a few weeks, you will quickly fail. Ditch that and eat your fat back again quickly. It's a myth, it's wrong, and it's dangerous. And another result from that way of thinking is that they advise, you don't want to ever be hungry. Yeah, you don't actually want to be hungry, but they say that will damage your metabolism. That'll slow it down. It's irrelevant in my alternative obesity model. So they advise eating 6 or 7 times a day. I'm telling you, that will make it worse because you will never be able to fight your insulin resistance. What you want to do is eat everything in the day within a 6-hour window. In other words, ditch your traditional most important meal, breakfast. Ditch it. Ditch your breakfast and stick to lunch and supper within 6 hours. So you have a long fast period around that 6-hour window for your body to clear out insulin, which will drive the fattening and fight you from losing weight. And secondly, 24-hour fasts, intermittent, where you only eat supper, will make a huge difference. Now, I haven't started the 24-hour fasting, but with the one day that I did the 6-hour window, which was it's really easy if you kill refined carbohydrates, if you kill sugar, that's easy. If not, the sugar is going to make you eat. You absolutely have no control. You will binge yourself into an obesity death. But if you control that, don't eat any sugar. I mean, I'm not saying ever. There's going to be celebrations. But when you're losing weight, most of the time you want to ditch sugar. And sugar has an additional danger that the refined carbohydrates don't. Refined carbohydrates are just glucose when they break down. Sugar is glucose and fructose. Fructose can only be metabolized by your liver, which means your liver will rapidly acquire insulin resistance, fatty liver, making you fat. It's more dangerous than refined carbohydrates, but refined carbohydrates are the mother lode of all sugars because there's so much of it everywhere. So knock off those big two things and you will find your life much, much, much easier if you're trying to lose weight. It will happen by itself, but if you cut your overall intake, it will happen even faster. That's my message for today. Gary, out.